we all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you.
It's not gonna happen. Go.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family. Let's end this reign of terror now. I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you.
You were wrong. It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian. If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under these policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Just waking up right now, NBC News now officially projecting that Donald Trump has won the presidency.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, getting on the grind and improving your mind. As always, it's been a while since we've done a live stream, but in this case, it's kind of more of an important necessity just because this is the future, this is the world we live in, and there's a lot of things going around, and people's minds are destroyed by the results, or they're being built. Either way, I think it's a topic worth discussion for the day, and it's been a while, so this is a good time to do it. So, Mike, hit us with your thoughts. What happened this morning when you woke up?
I woke up this morning and I look at the Associated Press because the election was yesterday, and I saw that a whole bunch of crazy things happened, including Donald Trump becoming president for the second time. I did not expect to see that, really, because of how things were looking the previous night, how certain states were starting to look blue. And when I wake up the next morning, there were those states that I thought were going to be blue ended up being red and turning and switching. And I was very, I want to say confused. I also want to say surprised. And I wasn't really expecting it. It's kind of in the same way as what happened in 2020, except as far as from what I have seen so far, it did not look fishy. Now, when we did the stuff reacting to the 2020 election, last election cycle, we had noticed a bunch of different things that just seemed very fishy, that didn't seem very genuine. Like the mail-in ballots was definitely a big thing on that end, because I don't know if anyone has looked at the statistics for voting, but in 2020 there was like 81 million people had voted for Joe Biden. in comparison to the then 60 something, was it 61, 65 million for Kamala Harris this time. And I think altogether it was like 180 or 170 people voted in general in 2020. And then there was like 150 something that a million voted this election. So to me, there's something there that to me kind of smells fishy, at least in the 2020 election. This one, I haven't really fully seen everything to really know what is actually going down, to know if it is there's something going on behind the scenes that we might not see. But as of right now, as I did in 2020, this is the election that we have. These are the results, and this is what we have to go with moving forward. So let's just take it as it is, and let's go on.
Yeah, guys. So definitely very interesting. I was expecting Kamala to win the election, and I was surprised when she did not. I guess it was based on my assumptions and the energy that I'm seeing in Jersey. Of course, there's a whole nother world out there. Maybe I have failed to see, but basically my prediction was wrong, and I accept that my prediction was wrong. And we're going to talk about today why my prediction was wrong. One of the things that kind of made me think that she was going to win is because pretty much the media, in my opinion, basically been manipulating women for like the past year. Right, trying to get them to vote, making them fear their abortion rights, all these kind of things, getting all the women to vote for Kamala and all that stuff. And it did work to a great degree. I'm seeing a lot of females that I know in real life just very upset.
Yeah,
that they think they're going to lose all their rights. And I'm just like, no, you're not.
Their opinions to that is completely valid. If they want to believe that is going to be the case, we don't actually know if this actually will go into effect because the Trump presidency has not started yet. That starts in January.
All right.
So we don't know what's going to happen. And they're completely valid to believe that this could be a possibility. However, it is not reality just yet. So we have to just hold our beliefs on that for right now, and we'll have to see where it goes moving forward. We just need to know what we should be doing. Now, if anyone in the live chat is here right now as we're doing this live stream, I put a link in the live chat that if you want to join us and have a discussion with us live, definitely go and click that and definitely try to join us. We can have as many people as possible in here. So if you're definitely on and you want to come and talk to us about this, we can do that. Now, if anyone's been following our channel, at least recently, we have put out a video recently, Trump or Kamala video, where we went around New Jersey and we had asked people some questions and asked them who they were voting for, either Trump or Kamala. And it seems like we got somebody, so let me bring them in. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we went around New Jersey. We were asking a lot of people, Trump or Kamala, and we got some very interesting responses. We'll probably go into it a little bit here. Definitely very interesting results. We got a lot of, mostly Trump, but there was still a lot of Kamala. What's going on, Kevin?
What's up, guys?
Good to hear him.
What's going on, buddy?
Same old Plano.
All right, Kevin, what's your thoughts, buddy, on the election this morning when you woke up?
Well, I woke up and I saw the results, and I just thought to myself, at least it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I because like Andrew was saying, we honestly were predicting that Kamala was probably going to win just because of
I don't think we could hear Kevin.
Just because of like how things happened in the past election and just how the state of everything, at least up here, is going in New Jersey. And I would honestly, to see that Trump actually won was honestly surprising. I was really like, oh wow, I can't believe this actually happened. This is a thing. I just wouldn't believe that people would I wouldn't believe that like the deep state or whatever is going on, or the Democratic Party. I feel like they just wouldn't let it happen, but it did happen. I feel like there was something there that was just like, nah, this is going to happen, and it did.
Yeah, I'm going to say once again, I thought Kamala was going to win because I really think the weakness in this country is pretty big. But the fact that Trump did win actually surprised me, and I think it's a good thing. And a lot of people are going to struggle to adapt, but it's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Kevin, you can't hear us, right?
Oh yeah, I'm listening to you.
All right, perfect.
I think the audience can.
What? He said very simple rejection of the people with common sense. Exactly.
Well, yeah, a lot of things that Kamala was doing in this campaign that she didn't really answer a lot of direct questions. She wasn't very direct in like interviews and stuff. And I think a lot of people had that worry because, she doesn't really seem to be having it handled here. So how's she going to handle it on the world front? And she didn't seem to have a lot of good answers to a lot of questions in interviews. So a lot of people are concerned about that.
Yeah, she's been memed out like crazy too.
Yeah, I think that like basically a lot of people are very frustrated in America right now. I think that's one of the big issues, and the fact that America is so pissed off is why Trump won. They're sick of the economy. They're sick of everything that's going on. They're just simply frustrated. And now they were just like, all right, we're gonna vote for Trump because we got to switch things up. We have to try something new. We can't keep living like this, including my parents, people that I know. A lot of people are fed up with the way things are, and another 4 years of being, in the blue doesn't seem to be a good answer.
No.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, yeah, like what you just said, a lot of people are just fed up, and I've seen that a lot. And it kind of goes in with what we were just talking about just before you came on, Kev, is when we did this experiment, I was actually really surprised to know that out of all the people that had talked to us, there were more people that said that they were going to vote for Trump than they were for Kamala. And to me, like that was like, wow, that's crazy, because like this is generally just a blue state, a Democratic state.
Yeah.
And so to hear more people say that they were going to vote for Trump over Kamala was a little interesting to me. And I you can always take that into account of like, oh, the people who vote for Trump are more vocal. They're more sociable. They're the people that like will go and talk about this, where some people in the Democratic Party will probably just hold back and not want to say anything.
Yeah.
But like you could take that into account. But at the same time, how the people that we were talking to, they seemed like they were just like really fed up with how things were being run this year, or like this electoral cycle, and they really wanted some change. Some people, I think we've talked to a couple people that were Democratic, that were a part of the Democratic Party, that switched over because they believe that that the things that were going on wasn't really what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
Myself, I used to consider myself more of a Democrat, but that was long time ago, back in high school. Since changed, not quite Republican. I don't think that we should have a bipartisan system. I don't think it works.
No, I don't think so either.
We need more options.
There needs to be not just more options, but there needs to be more viable options that can be reached to everybody. Like we were so close to that. We were so close to that with RFK Jr. before the Republican Party pretty much just snapped him and just took him under Trump. I feel like if he was able to stay within, that could have been a great stepping stone for the future for more third-party people to be able to come up and be on that same level front as the Democrats and the Republicans. I feel like he was so close. And I mean, this could be good probably for the next electoral cycle, maybe, I hope. But this also shows that the two-party system will forever be a thing, because if someone big like that comes up, they're going to want to snatch him.
Right.
That's what happened to Bernie too.
And I was also going to say, I was telling Mike earlier, the fact that Elon Musk was not really taken seriously by the Democrats, I think, and that's why I think the Republicans kind of got him on their team, and that helped them greatly. I think having Elon Musk on their side and literally just constantly harping on Trump actually helped him greatly. And another big problem with Kamala is that she had all these celebrity endorsements, and all people should know that celebrities are pretty much just fake on a platter,
Especially actors.
Yeah, all these actors and actresses, they're all getting paid big checks to say these things. People could smell the bullshit. So quite literally, they could sense that all these celebrities that were backing up Kamala, there's something in it for them. They're not meaning it's not genuine. LeBron James, all these Katy Perry, whatever you may, all these high Tom Hanks all supporting Kamala, and no one is buying it anymore. They're not really buying it. They're not really taking it seriously. They know that they're full of crap, and they're just it's kind of like a form of rebellion in a way.
Yeah.
I think what it really is, and what it really comes down to, is I think people just need to realize and understand that actors, actresses, these famous people, like, yeah, you should, like, I wouldn't say look up to them, but you should be like, oh yeah, I aspire to be, in your position, right? But you don't want to attach your existence to that person. And I feel like the people that do that are the people that believe in what they say, right? I feel like, and I think it's the same way with a lot of the people in MAGA. I feel like a lot of the people in MAGA are like that. to an extent. Some people are, some people aren't as much, but a lot of people, they just attach to these people, kind of like how some MAGA people attach to Donald Trump, and how some people attach to these actors and actresses, and like people like Eminem, or people like that. I feel like a lot of these people, they attach to these people, they become that, those people become part of their like their persona and just the way that they think. And so anything those people will say, they will just do. Oh, you want me to vote for Kamala? Of course I'll vote for Kamala. Of course I'll do that, or, oh, Donald Trump, you're running for president. Of course I'm going to vote for you. I love you. I feel like people that do that, they're not fully thinking about the entire landscape. They're just tunnel visioned on like one specific side. And I think we as a people, just in general, need to not do that, and just need to more focus on everything else around you, and to think rationally. And
right. I personally don't think Kamala should have been president. I really don't think that she is leadership material. I just don't see it. I don't think she had the potential. And a lot of the stuff I saw from her, it looked very fake, looked very disingenuous, and I just didn't see a lot of qualities. People say, yeah, she's been in all three branches, she has all this experience. Like, yeah, well, she still doesn't strike me as the candidate that I'd want to follow. And I don't think she'd be good on a world stage. This is, when your intuition is telling you something, it just doesn't feel right. You just can't. At least Trump's done it before, and the economy was pretty good under him, so you might as well give it a shot. Like I'm not like all fully Trump, because he has some good and bad, just like everybody else does. So I can't go fully all in. But at the same time, I think out of the two, he is the better candidate. And as an American, you should vote for whoever you think would at least be better for the job.
Yeah.
And
I agree completely with you what you just said, because when they announced that Kamala was going to be the candidate, I stopped and I thought to myself, I was like, wait a minute, where's the primary? Didn't they just announce that Biden was stepping out of the race? Why is there no primary right now to decide on a Democratic candidate right now? Why are they just announcing that she's going to take it? Who is doing this? Who is the person that is in charge of doing that? Apparently there is a loophole in one of the legislations for this candidacy thing, where the Democratic delegates pretty much almost unanimously can choose a person without needing a primary. And so the people, us as the people, do not get a chance to actually choose who we want. We are given those choices. We don't get to watch all these different people be in a primary race to choose who we believe should be the best.
Yeah, they skipped that part.
Yeah, we're just told who was going to be the candidate. And I think that was also a factor in why she lost, because she was hand chosen and she wasn't chosen by the people. And I think some people that might have wanted to choose a Democrat as a option just felt like they shouldn't, because of the fact that they weren't allowed to have a choice in the matter.
Hello.
Caleb.
I will say one of the reasons, again, that I thought Kamala was going to win is because, once again, I'll say it was the high women vote. They basically manipulated all the girls. Unfortunately, I'm seeing it a lot. You got girls crying out here like we put in the intro and stuff. I think it's kind of weird to say. A lot of people won't really understand where I'm coming from, possibly, but I think that we live in a society where women have such low respect for a lot of guys. They don't really trust in like men in their lives. So they're relying on big government and Kamala, even though Kamala doesn't care about these people. Really, all these politicians, they don't care about us anyway.
Even Donald Trump doesn't care.
And nobody cares.
No one cares.
But all these girls are putting their faith in the system with the abortion and all this stuff. And the reason why that's happening is because they don't really trust the men in their lives, and they've had like trauma and stuff. So they feel like they have to rely on the government for assistance and stuff. And it's kind of sad that it's like that, because I think they're just being used as voters pretty much. And then when Kamala if she would have won, they would not have really focused as much as they think they would have.
Yeah.
But of course that could be debated. Anybody can debate me on that. That's fine. I could be wrong, but just a feeling I have.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think about that?
I completely agree with what Andrew says, honestly.
I think they're just being used. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because even before,
there's too many weak men in the world, and that's why women default to government instead of the men in their lives, because men have failed them in their own lives.
And I think even back in the day, when we're thinking about all the other candidates that have come and gone throughout the years, they've always promised certain things, but nothing really ever comes. We got a comment. Let's see what it says.
I see. That's a good question. It's a good question. Mike, you talked about this
Yeah,
earlier.
do you think the Republicans having all the power is a bad thing or a good thing? Ooh, yes. Thank you for bringing up this topic.
Yeah,
So let's
we
talk
talked about this earlier on the car ride to this office.
so I noticed that when Donald Trump was elected, not only did a Republican win the presidency, but the the majority of the governors, the majority of the Senate, the majority of pretty much, I think almost every form of government, including the Supreme Court, I think is all led by Republicans. It's all like a Republican-dominated government, which some people might say, "Oh, this is a good thing because the policies and everything that running president is going to try to put into effect will happen," right? But I think there needs to be, and agree with me or disagree with me, Kevin, when I say this, but I think that having that is a little bit is a little scary, and I think having that is something where that can lead pretty much, it's going to be a slippery slope. Because I think, especially if it was, in my opinion, if it was the opposite way, I think that would be a horrible thing. Because I think how I've seen the Democratic Party run things recently, not even just recently, but just over time, I feel like they're very hands-on. They're gripping all of us, and they're trying to control every little single thing. And I feel like we won't really have much freedom if it was the opposite way. Now that it's this way, I still am a little scared because of the fact that they have all the power, and I'm going to say all the power in quotes, because there are Republicans that might not want to agree with certain policies and might side with the Democrats on certain things, which is a good thing. But just having the ability to have an entire government that is dominated by one party is a little scary. What do you think about that, Kev?
I don't think that any specific side should have full power over all of our government. I think it should be more democratic in that side of things, because we need people to be represented, whether we like their representation or not. We need people to be represented in the House and the Senate, as presidency, and just as a whole. We may not agree with everything that a Democrat has to say. Same thing as may not agree with everything a Republican has to say, but they gotta have their say in it too. It's United States. We're here. We gotta have some kind of vote.
My biggest thing is the Republicans will cut health care for Americans. What do you think? Well, yeah, because I think that as far as what I know, and I don't really know much, is that I know that the Republicans didn't really like the healthcare for all type thing. And I think that's what he's talking about right here. With us talking about this, and with the dominance of power, this could be a problem where if they're just like, we don't want this to happen. We don't want people to have healthcare for all, right? If they do decide to say that, they could, in theory, try to take it away. Now, again, if some people say that, oh no, we shouldn't take this away, and some Republicans are like, oh no, we shouldn't take this away, we need to keep this, then they'll side with the Democrats and try to keep it, which could possibly happen. But again, we have to wait and see. But it is a slippery slope that can go down into a whole travesty of things. Now I think that a Republican dominated government might not be as bad as we think, but I do believe that regardless of which side you're on, this is scary. Now, healthcare is something that everybody needs, and I mean,
especially all those soybean oil all you guys are eating out there. Of course, you definitely need healthcare.
And I mean this in a way where people need to, like, I don't. This is something that I need to look into more, because other governments and other countries, they have healthcare free, and it's just been a thing forever. And we're just starting to get into that. We've just been starting to get into that within the last decade and a half. And I feel like this is a thing that probably shouldn't be touched. And I don't understand why people would touch it. Now, I don't know the economic things that go into that behind the scenes. I don't know how much this actually costs. I don't know all those other details that go on and why people would want to take it away. But I think us as a country just need to know that doing or having healthcare for all is probably, I think, is fine. I think it's perfectly okay.
I mean, once again, I'm not saying I agree with the entire Trump administration, whatever they have planned. I just think they were the better candidate for the job. So, I mean, that's one of the big problems, that you can't really have everything you want with any administration. There's always going to be some things that might not be, the best way. But
Let's see. I believe it should be between employee and employer, which I agree to. But also the people that either have like disability or whatever, that people that like couldn't get a job or something like that, pre-existing condition, like you say, like I feel like those people are the ones that should have these things. Maybe there should be healthcare for all for people like with small businesses. I feel like people with small businesses should be able to afford healthcare for themselves if they decide to go into a small business and don't have a way of getting some sort of healthcare. I feel like that should be part of that too.
Yeah, I have to look more into like what they have planned and everything, because they're in now. So we have to see what Trump's policies are. Now, Trump better keep to his word about things he was saying. Otherwise, there's a lot of people going to be very upset. For example, he said on the Joe Rogan podcast he was going to release the JFK files. I want to know what's going on in that.
Me too.
I want to know the JFK file. He said he's going to release it if he becomes president. So I'm holding him to that. He also said that if he gets into office, he's going to go get Zelensky and he's going to get Putin. He's going to sit them down. He's going to end the war. I don't know how he's going to do it.
I don't know either.
But that'd be great if we can end a war. Oh, please. Yes. Okay, fine. If you say you're going to do that, just know that we heard you, and you better do it.
And the one that I think that I'm more concerned about than really anything is his agreement with RFK, because he brought in RFK,
that's a big one.
He brought in RFK specifically because he wanted not only to stop RFK from getting more votes than him, and pretty much making there be a big split between Kamala, RFK, and Trump. But he also told him that if by dropping out of the race and joining Trump, that Trump would appoint him to whatever position and would help dealing with things with nutrition and all those different types of things. Now, of course, with us as All Gains Mindset, we focus a lot on nutrition and diet and exercise.
And I was very intrigued by RFK joining Trump's team to see what he's going to do to expose Big Pharma and change the way a lot of the guidelines are. Yeah, because guys, we're dying from the food that we eat every day. We're eating all this poison pretty much. That's all in the snacks that you eat, all these manufactured oils, all these things that are not natural and that we're not meant to be eating. And especially, I mean, RFK said something about taking the fluoride out of the water. I mean, there's a lot of mixed opinions on fluoride. I'm not really sure. And even like raw milk, but that's like besides the point. But the fact that he's with this administration now, it'll give us a chance to see what he's going to do with it. What he's going to do being in the, is he going to crack down on it, on Big Pharma now? Is he going to, once again, it goes back to, are they going to do what they said they're going to do? Or is everything just a lie?
Yeah.
Now, I guess everything you could say everything is a lie, but we're going to have to see.
Yeah.
Because okay, you guys promised all these things. Okay, you're in office now. This is your chance. Don't mess this up, because a lot of people are going to be very, very agitated if you do not follow through with the things that you promised during the campaign. Just like how Kamala said she was going to do all these things,
Here's a good one. I don't believe in no tax on overtime and tips and Social Security. So wait, you're saying that you don't believe that there should be tax? Wait, do you believe that there should be tax on overtime, or that there's no tax on overtime?
I would love there not to be tax on my overtime, because Americans work hard. That was another thing that Trump said, that if he doesn't follow through with it, he's a piece of shit. Pretty much.
He's a piece of shit.
Because if I'm working overtime this holiday season coming up, which I know I will. I mean, we technically want overtime right now, just doing this, all the time. But it would be great to not be taxed on that. I don't know how he's going to pull it off. I don't know the economics with that. Once again, I'm not an economist, and I would never pretend to be, because you got to be real with who you are, right? Yeah. But if he can pull that off, I mean, that'll change everything. Because there's a lot of people that put a lot of hours in their job, and they're struggling financially, of course, with the way the economy is, which is why he won. So if he can do like a no tax on overtime, I mean, a lot of companies will be like,
yeah. I wonder if there's now, Kevin, I don't know if you know any of this, but I'm gonna say it out loud, and hopefully, if you have an opinion on it, you'll tell me. But I feel like, is there a reason? Is it only, I don't know how many states or anything like that have tax on overtime. I don't really know much about that, but I wonder if there's a thing because of people who are on salary, maybe because that they don't get overtime, because that they only get paid a certain amount of money a year. Like, is that why other people get taxed on overtime? I don't really know how any of that works, but Kevin, I want to know if you know. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about it, but I do know that it's going to screw us at tax season anyways, because when you read the bottom line of gross pay, and then you read the taxable amount and then read the rest of it, you're still going to end up paying taxes at the end of the year. It's just, do you want to pay it over time or do you want to pay it all at once?
True. You bring up a good point. Actually, I didn't think about that. Honestly, yeah. So if we don't get taxed on overtime, then we won't see it come up on our tax returns and just during tax season in general, and that means we would have to pay it, right? Is that pretty much what you just said?
Yep, that's pretty much what I'm saying.
Okay, and if we got taxed on it, then it would cushion how much we would have to pay.
Yep.
That's
I didn't think about that. See, this is why it's good to have. That's why you're here.
Yeah, this is why having conversation about these types of things.
Yeah,
is
once
good.
again, guys, if anyone wants to join in, you can. There's a link in the live chat. Anybody could join in and give your thoughts.
Let's see if there's another comment. Hold on. Let's see. Actual reward for working and being healthy. Nothing else even matters. Yeah, like we said, if these things go through, that's good. If they don't, and it's like purposely they're not going to, then that's a problem. We don't like that, and we've seen that happen with other regimes in the past.
Yeah, I mean, really, we're gonna have to see how this goes because I'm still kind of shocked at everything that's happened today, and so many people are melting down. It's actually crazy. If you go on Twitter or X, whatever, you're gonna see a lot of people just freaking out, like, "Oh my God, America's destroyed." I'm waiting for all the celebrities that said they're gonna move. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, did Tom Hanks actually move back in 2016? I don't remember.
I don't know, but there's a lot of celebrities that are like, "I'm getting out of here. America's doomed." It's like, calm down. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I got someone yelled at me, like someone told me to eat shit on Twitter because I told them we're gonna be fine. So I was like, okay, whatever. So people are very upset out there, but I mean, really, it's not gonna be that bad. I mean, we did 4 years of this before. We seemed pretty okay until Corona came in. And
we do this every 4 years, honestly. Oh, we got another comment. Hold on. Let's bring it up. Parties are not part of government legislation. Anyone can be a candidate for president. You can petition to be on the ballot. And there's always write-ins. Yep.
Yeah, the problem that it never really goes except more than like 2 people. That's the problem. It always ends up these 2 people. And like back in the day, I was kind of leaning towards Bernie. This is obviously way back now. And then they took Bernie and they shoved him in the back. Like, nope. Okay. And like in this election, I saw Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm trying to say his name right.
Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever.
And I actually thought he could have been a good candidate, but no, he was shoved in the back. Ron DeSantis shoved in the back. And then once again, Trump again. Like the third time in a row.
RFK's over here. Oh nope, we're gonna take him.
We had a chance to vote for RFK Jr. They're like, nah. Actually, they just gold him up.
Consumed him.
Him and Elon. They just took him right up, which is kind of smart for Trump to take Elon.
It is
and
smart.
Then he took RFK Jr. on his side, and then Tulsi Gabbard, who I do respect. She's Tulsi Gabbard seems like a good fit too, from what I've seen. I don't know her very well.
I don't know her at all. I just know that she was a Democrat and now she's a Republican. Is whatever. But like what you said, parties are something that is a problem to, at least to me, especially now, because I think we went from where George Washington was like, we should not have parties. This should not be a thing, and let's not do that. I don't like that. And then having a bunch of parties, a shit ton, where a bunch of different types of parties have won the presidency before, right? Mm-hmm. To then having maybe 3 or 4 different parties. And now there's like 2 major parties, and all the other parties are just very little small things that can be flicked around. They're like ants. And I think like people who want to write themselves in or write people in, like they're not going to go far unless if you can actually have either the money, the funding, or the marketing skills to be able to give yourself enough reach for people to talk to, that you can talk to and actually get on your side to vote for, right? It's all about who's got the most money, who's got enough funding and marketing.
Right. That's why so many celebrities once again back Kamala, because probably a lot of money was offered to them behind the scenes. Here, take a couple million if you just endorse Kamala, so we get, even though people could see right through that, but still these celebrities are probably accepting a lot of money just to be.
What's going on, buddy?
You know, a lot of celebrities accepted a lot of money just to endorse Kamala, and I'm sure that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is fake. One of the reasons that Kamala did not win is because she is simply not genuine in a lot of the stuff that she did. I saw. Let's see if we could pull it up on Twitter. Okay. There was a video of her on a cell phone, and she was basically talking to a I don't know if it was a fan or a voter or something, and she takes the phone away, like, because she has an iPhone, I would presume, and when the iPhone goes from her head, you can see like the camera. So it's like she wasn't even talking to anybody. So it just seemed kind of fake. And even when you zoom in, you look at like the top bar of the iPhone, there was no thing for like a call. You know, when you guys see on the top screen, there's like a call on the cell phone. So it wasn't like she wasn't even on a call, and she wasn't even genuine. So stuff like that, I think, really turned a lot of people off. And also the fact that she did not do any long form podcasts, like really long form, like really got to know like what she was about and stuff. You could say, yeah, she wanted to call her daddy or whatever kind of podcast was there, but it didn't really give us a lot about her and her like plans and everything. Now, what Trump did, which was very kind of impressive to a lot of people, which I think helped him, is that he went on Joe Rogan for like 3 hours, and during those 3 hours, he was talking about all different kinds of topics, and he didn't get up to pee once. He was straightforward. He remained coherent though the whole time, and I think a lot of people really like that because it's just him being him. We never really got that for Kamala, and instead it's just we got a lot of like kind of weird stuff. It just didn't feel right. And then the VP Tim Walz was kind of some just didn't. This is my opinion. Something just seemed kind of off about that guy. I don't know. Seen a lot of things on Twitter, but once again, I could be wrong. I don't know him personally. I don't know any of these people personally, and neither do you. That's why I always tell people that the best thing you can do, no matter who wins, you need to take accountability for your own life, and you need to make choices that are beneficial to you, right? Because these politicians are not going to save you. It's just not going to happen. Oh, Mike, you found it?
I think I found it. Hold on.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that video that I was talking about. Yeah, it's I find it hilarious. She was like, yeah, they'll play that.
So let's see. Yeah, so it's apparently this video here, and let me try to play it. I wonder how this actually.
Yeah, so she's on the phone.
Yeah, she's on the phone. I hope we can actually see it because this is apparently from the post that people were talking about.
I see. Yeah, see that the phone comes out and it's not even anybody there.
There's nobody there, and then she goes back to it. And it's a camera.
Yeah, and people zoomed into it. It didn't look at the phone, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. You just stay on Twitter, I guess, if you want. But guys, as I was saying, you basically want to take accountability for your own lives. So that's a lot of these girls. That's like what I was saying before. They think that Kamala was going to really take care of them, and it would be probably a lot of work to even get all that abortion stuff settled. Which really, abortion was the main concern of all these girls when all these other things are going on with the wars and everything. It's like, really, I'm not concerned with killing babies right now. It's not really my top concern.
I mean, like, and
I get it.
and it comes from two guys who don't have to deal with that, of course. But
yeah,
at
like
the same
anybody
time,
could debate me on that. I get it. I know it's a very sensitive topic, and a lot of people get turned off by that. But I mean, that's the common thing I saw about Kamala is just the abortion situation, women's rights. What rights do you not have?
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
Well, yeah,
someone educate me. Someone in the comments just educate me right now because I don't know.
Ignorant to this because, of course, we are men, so we just don't know. Like Kevin, you're the same way. But this is something that came up when we were doing our little experiment here. Is we talked to somebody who actually is not from America. He was, I don't know, maybe in his 40s, and he is from Italy, and he was talking to us about like the election. Like he said, Kamala's an imbecile, and which was kind of funny.
Behind the scenes, he actually was voting for Trump too.
But like he was talking about how like we as the American people, like the government like forces us to focus on like these talking topics like abortion, like gun rights, all these different things. But a lot of those things actually really don't matter in the end. It's more about like how we interact with not just ourselves as one another as American citizens, but also to the rest of the world, and how we talk because nowadays, like, it's not just about within us, it's also about the world and how we interact with everybody else, because now that everything is more connected than ever, we need to focus more on that as well, which is something in my opinion, I have always like not really wanted to focus on like global events and stuff like that. I've always said, we should just focus on us, build ourselves back up, and then do that. But we just can't really ignore the rest of the world just for that specific purpose. We have an obligation because of us being such a big superpower. And do we have more? We have more comments.
Oh, is that Twitter or is that someone else?
Twitter. No,
okay.
Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, which mic? Pull up that real quick.
Let's see. My
Actually.
greatest concern long term is what this means for climate change.
It's actually very interesting because when I went outside today, it was like felt like 80 degrees. I was like,
It
what?
was 80 degrees. It was
Whoa.
like the next 2 days is supposed to be 80, and then it's supposed to drop to like 50, and then go back up again to like 70. So I'm just like, whoa. Kevin, how's the weather over there? Is the weather getting crazy, or is it about the same?
I mean, it's typical North Carolina weather. That's kind of how it is down here. We get false fall, and then we go back to summer, and yeah, it goes wild down here. But it's kind of weird to hear about it happening in Jersey too.
Yeah, because it's November. Like I don't remember feeling like 80-degree weather in November.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
Climate change is not really something I'm very educated about, but I'm sure it can be a concern. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what the Trump administration plans to do about that. That might be some research that I might have to do on my own time.
Yeah.
But hopefully I mean, if it's a big deal as people claim, then they should hopefully do something about that.
Yeah.
But you know, there's so many issues going on in the world right now. I mean, it's a little tough to keep up, but hopefully Trump will at least focus on America instead of worrying about the rest of the world right now, because we need to really get our own country back on track and not add trillions to the deficit. Might be nice.
You know,
Right.
well, we'll see what
I don't
happens. 'Cause
know.
I mean, regardless,
I think his
there's
plan
gonna be
was
something.
the tariff plan, right? I don't really know much about the tariffs either. Once again, yeah, I know, but that was his plan, right? To tax on tariffs and stuff.
Like to raise tariffs and I think it was like lowering taxes like for us and then raising tariffs for things being imported into the country. I think it was something like that where it's supposed to balance it out. I don't really, I haven't fully looked into that, but I saw that it's something that he was talking about, and I wanted to look into it before the election, but I just didn't have a chance to, because there's so many things that are going on right now, especially when we were making the that Trump versus Kamala experiment.
Let's go into this thread that you made.
Yeah, so I have a thread that I literally just made it. I've been working on it all day, and I just posted it to X like just before we went live. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen, and we're gonna just discuss it all together. So give me 1 second. Let me go and bring that up.
Yeah, while he does that, so I was just going to say that, you know, we're going to see how these next 4 years pan out. I think Trump won mostly because the American people are fed up with how the world, well, at least how America is right now. We're not really respected on a world scale. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of people that are worried about paying rent and basically being able to afford groceries and stuff like that, because everything has gone up in the past couple of years. Inflation is pretty bad, and we need to get things back on track. And the American people are hoping that this could be the solution. Now, if you guys voted for Trump, definitely let me know in the chat and why, because I think there's a lot of reasons why that people would. I get it, you know, and I also understand why a lot of people voted for Kamala, although I think she's a little more fake, in my opinion. I think there could be better choices than either of those two candidates, but once again, you have to choose the one that would better be for the country. So be it. So, Mike, what do we got?
Yeah, so so it's, since the screen is a little too far for me, I'm gonna try to read it off of my phone. That way, it's just a little bit easier for me to read and speak. So I want you to just keep an eye on the chat on your phone while we do this. If there's anyone that brings up something important as I talk about it, and Kevin, if you have anything to say while I bring something up, definitely just shout at us and say your piece, please, because I don't want to leave you in the dust. But so as you can see, we'll just read along. So I'll scroll when I get to the next part here. So I started this as well. I didn't think it would happen, but Trump has been elected again. Last month, we talked to hundreds of people in New Jersey and asked who they were voting for. This thread will detail that entire process, our findings, and thoughts about everything dealing with the election. So we asked 212 people to participate in our poll. Over 150 of them did not want to participate, which is fine. 28 of them said that they were voting for Trump. 17 were voting for Kamala. 2 were voting for third party, and the rest said that they were not voting whatsoever. Now, being in New Jersey, it was odd seeing a statistic showing in favor of Republicans. Maybe it's because Republicans are more social and don't mind being on camera, being asked this question, maybe. Regardless as to why there were more, let's talk about why these people were voting. So about half of the Trump voters that we talked to, it was because that they were sick of the Biden presidency and what is done to the country. The other half believes that Trump's policies are just better than anything that Kamala was bringing to the table. With Kamala voters, it becomes a little bit messy. So we had conversations with a few that were very intelligent people that knew what they were talking about, and we listened to them talk about abortion rights, climate change, Trump's age, even, which is a thing that I believe is a problem, is the age limit. There should be an age limit for people older. And all these different things decided their decision, but then there were others that just didn't know why they were voting for it. They were just voting for her. Others said that it was because she was a woman, and then others also said it was because that they only vote for the Democratic Party. That brings us to a few topics that seem to be an issue with the party system. One is blindly voting. Let me actually, so you can see that. There you go, guys. This one, blindly voting for a party instead of voting for the ideas and policies. Did we just forget that Biden dropped out of the 2024 race and there was no primary? This is something that we had talked about earlier in the stream. Kamala was just handpicked to be the candidate. Doesn't that bring up a red flag? Shouldn't the Democratic Party have a primary to let other candidates have a chance to prove why they should be running for the presidency? Apparently, a loophole was found for the party delegates to be able to vote for Kamala as the candidate without the need of a primary. And so they did, leaving the American people to watch from the sidelines, not able to give an opinion.
Before Mike continues, I'm also going to say I was also surprised this morning to find out that not only did Trump won the Electoral College, he also won the popular vote. Now, this is the first time a Republican candidate has won the popular vote since 2020 or before, maybe. It's been a very long time. So that also caught my eye, which once again points to Americans are fed up with the way things are right now so much that he won the popular vote, which did not happen in 2016 and definitely didn't happen in 2020. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah. Two, the United States is not doing enough to make it easier for third-party candidates to get a shot at presidency. These last few election cycles have given us small hopes like Joe Jorgensen, Jill Stein, RFK Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy. There's so many others. Bernie even. However, even with the growing popularity of these candidates, the party system keeps them underwater and will not let them rise above the shoreline. What ends up happening is many different possibilities. Again, I keep going into more tangents. One, the candidates get overshadowed by heavily funded Republican and Democrat parties and not enough marketing and reach to the American people. Gotta make sure. Yep. Two, the Republican and Democratic Party take these candidates like Trump did with RFK, the only third-party candidate in recent history to have enough natural backing to have an invite to a presidential debate, even though they just wouldn't let him be on there for some reason.
Even if he's still on the ballot, and a lot of people are still voting for him on the ballot. It's like,
yeah. Three, swing states usually using certain third-party candidates to prevent bigger candidates from taking the state electorally. This is what we were literally just talking about, where RFK dropped out of the race, but certain states kept RFK on the ballots purposely to try to prevent, I think most likely, Trump from getting those votes. And I think that's a problem. So running and was under Trump. Now, the next part, George Washington, our first president, heavily opposed the party system. I talked about this earlier. He did not believe they will benefit the American way due to conformity, which is what we see happening now. Back then, when they refused to listen to his warning, there were a plethora of parties, but over time, it went from many to few to now two. Now, there are other parties, like I said, they're like little ants that don't really pose any threat. Let's talk about the issues with the election system. Should the Electoral College be abolished? These are all big questions that people think about. Should there be an age limit, which is what I said before? Should the whole system just need a reset in general? I believe that there are pros and cons to these, and I don't have the answers. What I do know is that age is something we all as a country need to look at. I think now more than ever, we should push for a change in how old you can be to run for president. That includes the youngest and oldest. I think there should be a change for people from over 65 to not be able to run for president.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are now questioning, well, Trump is too old. Yeah, because they're comparing it to what Biden was, because Biden's mentally he's grandpa. Put him away. Just leave him alone.
Put him away.
Stop. Like literally just torturing the old guy. Like, come on, he's not
Torturing
even
the old man.
mentally there anymore. At least Trump has, it's a natural decay of the brain. Some people, when they get older, it happens, but at least Trump is still sharp. He's still out there. He's still doing his thing. And hopefully the next 4 years, it remains that way.
Yeah. I also want to add that anyone who lives, whose lives become attached to these politicians, that consumes their personality, needs some therapy and need to reevaluate their situation. These people are not our saviors. We as individuals have control over what we can and can't do. Regardless if you're blue, red, green, or yellow, these politicians cannot stop your voice and your rights. Even if you believe your rights are being stripped away right now, there are still options that you can take. Those will have to be evaluated on a person-by-person basis, and there is no blanket fix for any of it. No one should lose friends or loved ones based on their opinions. An opinion is what someone believes, and we all think differently, and it's perfectly okay to have different thoughts. By doing something rash and emotional, like unfriending people because they don't think the way like you do without talking to them first, you become a bitter and sad person. You become too focused on the little things and are not seeing what is actually more important. Unity in the people. I talked to someone who was a citizen of Italy, which is something that I brought up just before. He explained that all the talking points the politicians bring up, like guns, abortion, etc., are for the to divide people into small groups like their respective parties. By doing this, the people cannot stay united. It's like a socio-psyop to get people talking about things for the rest of the world that don't actually matter. We as a people have forgotten what it means to be an American, and this election has torn the divide even more than that, and that will continue if we don't stop and act. Let's not have tunnel vision and think about how we can move forward more united. Kevin, what do you think about that?
I'll be honest. Some of it I didn't follow because I'm not as well educated as you guys are. But
I got learning to do too. Trust me.
yeah. But I do. It resonates with me when you say about George Washington, because I remember these words are burned into my head. A house divided shall not stand.
Exactly.
It's just the perfect way of describing how divided we are now, and see how our government is just failing us in every way imaginable.
Right. But it's very interesting because that's seems to be what's going on. America is just very divided right now, and a lot of it, especially in this election, it felt like more of a gender divide more than anything. Very interesting, because it was like, oh, I see a lot of girls even right now, like, oh, if you voted for Trump, I don't want to talk to you, or like it's just creating this mental divide. It was very sad because men and women are better when we come together, but this election is like kind of dividing for a little bit. Now there are a lot of strong women, of course. It's not like doom and gloom. There's a lot of strong women that like voted for Trump or Kamala, and they were like respectful about it, like, oh, I don't care who you vote for. Like, but there is a lot of girls that are just kind of mentally deranged from this whole process and think that, oh, my rights are gone. I'm doomed. I hate all men. It's like, I was like, what the hell's going on?
And what's so crazy is, like, when we did this experiment, we didn't really, as far as what I remember, I don't remember getting any like disrespect from the women that were like talking about those things.
They were the Kamala video.
They were just more passionate about it, which is, I mean, like, it's perfectly fine and cool. And they weren't like, they didn't have that vibe of like, oh, if you don't vote for this person, I'm going to murder you or something.
Yeah.
You want me to bring up the Kamala video?
Yeah. We're gonna review it a little bit. We're gonna go over some of the people that I think will kind of get my mind going. Yeah, so guys, we're gonna pull up the video that we already released. You guys can check it out on your own time, but we're gonna kind of review and talk about the stuff that happened behind the scenes and some of the mentality behind some of the responses that we got. We went to the mall, we went to Asbury, went to a couple places in New Jersey. We asked a lot of people whether they were for Trump or Kamala, and the responses were interesting. Of course, we made it kind of funny, but there's some realism to a lot of the responses. Full disclaimer, of course, like over 200 people were like, get out of my face. No, completely ignored me. Did not want to be questioned. So let's go over some of the responses that we had. Yeah. Kevin, if you didn't watch this yet, you definitely gotta. I thought it was great. Let's just go right into where we started asking people.
Yeah, this is pretty much where I'm at. Oh. Sorry, I got it. I have it muted. My bad, guys.
Mm.
I just realized. Bring it back.
So these two guys, they were just chilling.
Hey, it's Trump
Yeah, these two guys when we first came up to them.
I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, they're already hesitant, but like, yeah, I guess we'll say something. They were not trying to get into it. Now this is at Rutgers University, and Rutgers has some strange people in it because most people were like, first of all, a lot of them didn't even speak English, so I was just like, and I don't, yeah, a lot of them were just kind of like, they had the headphones on, they seemed kind of dead. It was I don't know what college is doing to these kids these days. Things have definitely changed when I went to college. I was like, yo, I thought this was the party school. I was gonna go 22 Jump Street and try to get into the parties at the college and shit, but
that just didn't happen. And when we talked to these guys, this guy in the red, he's like, "Oh, I'm a libertarian," and this guy was like, "Oh, I'd rather not talk." Let's bring that up right now.
I respect that. How about you? I'd rather not talk about it, I guess.
I was like, okay.
Trump or Kamala? Which one answer that, bro? Trump. No? Word. Fuck Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's an example. Just people just flat out ignoring me. People did not want to be in the video.
The question is Trump or Kamala? If you had to choose one. Right.
He's like, I don't know. A lot of people just didn't know who they wanted to vote for.
To be honest,
Or they're just on the fence. I'm not going to vote at all.
that's hard. That's what she said. I'm voting Trump, to be honest. All right, shake the answer, man. Thank you very much.
Trump.
And why?
You seem pretty strong.
I feel like he provides more for our country.
It's Trump or Kamala? Trump.
These two friends. One guy said Trump, and this guy said Kamala.
I like that. And there's another one that we'll definitely talk about when we get
Yeah, so
there.
these two are friends, and they're voting for opposite candidates, and they're still cool. Like, they don't really care, which is great. I respect that mentality. A lot of you guys, you're just something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You are getting rid of people in your life, friends, family, because they're voting for someone else than you. Why does that matter? Why you got to disown someone from your life just because they voted for an opposite candidate? Once again, these politicians are not going to save your life. So one vote does not mean you're hating on someone. Like, I see a lot of girls saying that, oh, if you vote for Trump, you're voting against women. It's like, what are you talking about? Stop.
Let's continue.
There's no wrong way. Got more trust in it. Okay. Economy run better under him, and okay. Stuff was cheaper and more jobs, and everything, more opportunities. I don't think Trump like black people though. I feel like he just does a lot of colorist shit. You know, like he be at McDonald's trying to act like he's putting the bras in the bag and shit. Just black I feel like he got them more jobs though. He opened up a lot more jobs for black people while he was president. I'm a feminist, so like my first woman president, like
He was feminist. I was like, okay.
Until I'm president. Is Trump or Kamala, and why?
Trump,
And why?
because there's no other choice. Look at the country the way it is. Look at everything in here. You can afford absolutely nothing. It's Trump or nothing else. This country's done.
Yeah, that guy, when we first ran into him, he was super serious. Like, this guy, we were like, hey, can we ask you a question? He was like, sure. I was like, Trump or Kamala? And he was just like,
didn't he not want to at first? And then he came back and he was like, you got 2 minutes.
yeah, he was like, all right, well, what's up? And I was like, oh shit, okay, let's make it real. That guy was very concerned. I mean, I'm sure he's happy now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine now. Because Jesus Christ, when I made this shit red, that's like when we were recording this and he was talking, I was like, ooh, I gotta make this guy like turn red or something. Because like this dude is super,
his blood was boiling.
Oh yeah, super serious.
All right, I got it. Trump or Kamala in the election? Trump. Trump, why?
I just think he's a better option.
Okay. How about you? What do you think? No right or wrong answer.
Probably Trump.
Why?
Did you know that I can see you?
Yeah, so this is a couple. Once again, they're voting for different candidates, but they're not. Doesn't seem like they're letting it affect their relationship or anything. So I respect that. So he said Trump, she said Kamala, and I asked why Kamala. She said, I don't know. I was like, well, okay,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Which is again goes back to my thread where I talked about where some people just didn't know why they were voting for her. They were just voting for her. And I mean, it could be a thing where when we talk to people, some people may feel a little embarrassed that they're talking about this to complete strangers. You know, they might not want to explain themselves, you know, some things like that. That could be a possibility. But when like you're asked a question, I would assume and I would hope that people would answer these questions as truthfully as they can, and give some sort of good response. But it's interesting that a couple vote for opposite and it doesn't affect them. And he even brings this up. We even bring this up with them, and the guy gives a good explanation.
Okay, does that ever play into the fact that like you vote with different people, or it doesn't really matter? No matter.
Asked if the election made them like have problems in the relationship, and he said that he didn't care. And so I respected that.
Yeah, he said no, it doesn't matter because we shouldn't give a fuck.
Trump or Kamala?
Oh, Trump 1,000%.
And why?
Why?
My
Because the
girlfriend.
country was in a better state when he was president. We were able to afford gas, groceries, the way of living, life in general. We didn't have a million wars going on in the Middle East. 1,000%. She can stay on her knees where she belongs.
Great moment.
That was great.
Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, the president?
Even little kids are on.
And why Donald Trump?
I like Donald Trump better.
You like Donald? You think the economy is better, or like you have a lot of different reasons why?
I just like Donald Trump.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
This kid's a baseball player. You follow him on Instagram.
Well, I'll make
He's
more money
57
under
for
Kamala.
Yeah.
school.
So my vote's for
That's his
Donald
dad.
Trump.
He was basically saying that he would make more money behind the scenes if he voted for Kamala,
And
but
why?
he wants
Because
Trump.
Trump is going to lead us, I think, 60 years back, like just reading partially.
she's probably
I didn't
pissed.
read the whole Project
Yeah, she might not.
2025.
Trump
So
or
positive thing. So yeah, that's one of the girls that believes in like Project 2025, which Trump already said he doesn't even know what that is. He already wrote that off. But yeah, pretty much society's already corrupted her. Poor soul. And I don't know if she's gonna recover.
Kevin, do you know much about Project 2025?
I have no idea anything about it.
It was a kind of like a hoax, like a plan that Trump had to when he became president. It was gonna basically ban abortion and all these. It was,
Yeah, like.
but it's not even real.
Things.
He said in many rallies, "No, that's not true. I don't know who came up with that. I'm not. That's not my plan." So,
Said, okay.
but it scared the girls though, which
Oh,
once
scared
again,
everybody.
trying to win their votes by fear. So,
Yep.
another sneaky little tactic.
And now this is the guy. This is the guy we like.
Kamala's an imbecile. Even in Europe, people are saying she's an imbecile. So it's kind of cool that the Pope said choose between the lesser of two evils.
Is Trump or Kamala?
Hey, these two didn't know
So right or wrong answer.
what was going on.
These two
Like,
are-
either.
They're both awful. Yes, Kamala. I don't know. I mean, probably Kamala, I guess.
Okay. Is there any specific reason, or?
Trump's just like full of shady shit. Like that's pretty much
So once again, he didn't give any reason why he was voting for Kamala. He was just like, "Well, Trump is just shady." He was like, "Well, here's the truth is that everybody in Congress is pretty much shady.
Everyone in the government is pretty much shady.
Like you got there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know. I mean, imagine what's going on at the Diddy parties and everything, which probably a lot of the celebrities that would endorsing Kamala were probably the Diddy parties.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. So we still have a lot to learn about that.
Including Hillary. Jesus Christ.
Who's surprised about that?
I'm gonna see a red dot coming through this wall somehow.
Sounds us.
Oh my god. All right, let's continue.
far, but like, no, the things he said, like, I think he's kind of like his like ludicrous stuff he spout off at the hip with on Twitter.
He's not
kind of
perfect.
fun, actually.
I'm not into like the American conversation, so I don't worry about guns. I don't worry about abortion. I don't worry about these things that keep you all arguing about.
How about you? Like, if you had to choose Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Okay. Why? Do you have like a reason?
The humanity, the empathy that she has for people, her
Yeah,
background.
yeah. Once again, that's how they got a lot of the Go voters. They think that she's more, she cares about humanity more and stuff than Trump. And well, I don't know if that's true. I think she's just a politician, just like most of them. And really, she hasn't done anything the last couple of years that really made me. I mean, she's vice president. She's done nothing.
Yeah.
What has she really done? I mean, I don't know. Once again, anyone in the comments, like anybody in the live chat can correct me right now. Tell me something Kamala has done for the good of the country. Because I don't know. I can't think of anything. All I know is that gas was cheaper under Trump and things were better. I mean, this is just coming from my own perspective as just an average American, right? So tell me what Kamala's done the last couple of years that really made me want to vote for her. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Her and Biden are basically brain dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Biden more than really anything because he's
so when she said Kamala has like humanity to him, I was like, what are you talking about? She's pretty much lying to you to get your vote. And when she gets in power, she probably would not have done anything too crazy or too different. Just like Trump's not really going to do anything too crazy different unless like he really ends the war in Ukraine. It's just like I was talking about before, and he, all
Has
these kind of things.
RFK go buck wild on Big Pharma and Big
There's
Food.
potential there, but we're gonna have to see what he does.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Trump or Kamala? And why?
She doesn't know.
Realistically,
She was high.
because this looks right.
Wow.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
Trump or Kamala? If you had to vote for one, who would it be?
If I had to vote, hold on one second, Mel. If I had to vote for one, honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be Kamala.
Okay.
But I feel like Trump will be the choice, depending on what your objective is.
He was kind of flippy floppy. But he went for Kamala. I don't even know why.
I'm gonna say Kamala. Okay. And why? Because I think she's the next one. Oh,
That's all he really said.
Trump or Kamala?
I really
If
don't
you had to
know.
vote for one, who would you vote for?
Trump.
And why?
Because he had great news for the last 4 years when he was in. All the prices were down.
Trump or Kamala? If you had to choose one, who would you vote for?
Oh God.
Trump.
And why?
It's like we've all said.
Okay.
And he's what? Kamala's a woman, and men take advantage of women.
You what?
Yeah, this is just footage of me just getting rejected by everybody. Most people will just not talk about politics in public. They don't want to. They just don't want to get into it. They either don't know, don't care, or don't show that they're into politics or in anything. Or maybe they're just not going to vote. They don't care. Either way, it doesn't matter.
You guys try this.
Yeah, honestly, like being there with them, doing this experiment, like it is really hard to like really get.
Yeah, everyone was just like, "Get out of my face." And I was like,
go away.
It was like 2 days of rough filming.
Yeah, there was like
Trump
over
or
100.
Kamala?
Yeah,
If you had to choose one.
I choose neither. It's like a double-edged sword. But I feel like Trump, just because I feel like it'd be amusing.
Trump or
Actually, maybe
Kamala?
not.
You gotta vote for one.
I'm not going to vote for Trump.
He stinks, and I don't like him. Trump or Kamala? You had to vote for one.
Trump.
And why?
Just first of all, the economy,
Right.
and also grandma.
Your grandma was probably she didn't want to disrespect your grandma.
She didn't want to be on
Like, you know,
I'm not mad about
I think
that.
he's more sensible.
Trump or Kamala? You had to vote for one.
That's the average Kamala vote.
Okay. And why?
Well, I know that she's definitely for abortion
She's actually
rights.
pretty cool.
She has to carry
It's very nice.
Yeah. Want to or whatever.
I've done bad to say. I'm not trying to hate.
She's a little bit more mental with it, and
Probably younger and stuff, right? Like.
yeah, definitely. And I know that was a lot of people's complaints about
She
Joe
thought
Biden.
about abortion and all that, and I was like, oh, great.
Kamala.
And why?
She's not a psychopath.
You're very stupid people. Trump or Kamala?
Undecided.
Not biased.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm undecided right now.
Okay. Is there any thing they could do to make you go one way or the other? Like, is there anything they could maybe improve on?
Yeah, there's a lot that Trump can improve on. I'm hoping he's not as big of an idiot as he has been past elections.
Yep, he's not perfect, guys. He's not perfect.
Trump or Kamala? If you had to choose one.
Kamala.
And why?
I would like to vote Democrat. I would never vote for Trump in a million years.
She didn't give us a reason why she was
Yeah,
voting against
she-
Trump either. I think she's just
her-
hating.
I think her response really was that like she's always voted as for Democrats. She's been part of the Democratic Party, I guess, since she's been a voter. So I'm assuming like she's just one of those people that regardless of who's in, just vote Democrat. Which I mean, I've seen that as well with the Republican people. I've seen a lot of people that are just like, oh, I don't care who the candidate is, I'm voting only Republican because that's what I'm part of. And I mean, like I can get that, I can understand it, but for me, I like to see all sides. I like to see what the pros and cons to both and see what is best for, I think find what's best out of all the people. Kevin, what do you think about that? What do you believe that you should just only vote one party, or should you look at everyone and you should try to find the best in all of them?
You should try and find the best candidate, regardless of what party they're for or against, or what party they're a part of, or anything like that. It should always be about the best candidate for what you believe in.
Yeah, and for just like the climate of like what the situation of that what America is in or whatever, right?
Right.
It should just be based on that. I feel like everyone who just only votes for one party and just sticks to that is really just, I wouldn't say blind, but they got those horse visors on where like they only see in front of them. It's just a whole bunch of tunnel vision where they're just stuck to that one thing. They don't let themselves broaden out and expand and open their mind and think. There's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time there's a lot wrong with it, and I just don't like that. I just don't like that way of thinking. I would rather look at everyone and understand what they're going for, what their policies are, and then find out what the best one is based on all people, regardless of what party they're from. If they're Republican, Democrat, Green, Libertarian, whatever it is. Just find the best ones, and the ones that I believe would have the better impact for the country as a whole.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people did not research Kamala enough to even give her a vote. They were just like, "Oh, well, we need a woman president because."
Kamala.
Okay, and why?
I've liked Kamala for about 5 years.
Okay.
Back when she was a presidential candidate, liked a lot of the policies. Kind of middle ground at that time, maybe a little more left down.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump. Okay, and why?
Well, the border. I mean, we have to have a secure border.
How about you? Any other thoughts to add to
Trump,
that? Or?
not right.
No, I'm in agreement. We've been married for how many years?
Almost 60.
60 years.
Yeah, a big problem with the border, guys, is that that's one of the main arguments for Trump. So that's something that I've said is that, well, if he plans to, get rid of all the people that's here illegally, that's why a lot of people have concerns that's what Elon was saying, that if Trump did not win, Kamala would let a bunch of illegal immigrants into the country and they would be voting for future Democrat. And then we would never have a fair election again because all these illegal immigrants would just be voting Democrat because they let them in.
Yeah.
So I get.
That's a big
And there's also a lot of crime going on, apparently, from a lot of immigrants that are coming in from other countries and committing crime and stuff and killing people and stuff like that.
Yeah, wasn't there there was
Once
like a
again,
whole
anybody
thing,
can
like,
correct me
happening
on
in-
that. If anyone wants to correct me on that, fact check me. Go ahead. I'm open to being wrong, but that's what I've seen.
Yeah, wasn't there like a whole thing? I don't remember. Kevin, I don't know if you know, but I think there was a whole thing. I don't know if it was like Colorado. It was like a whole entire apartment complex that was like taken over by illegal immigrants, and they were like pretty much holding that apartment complex hostage and like forcing them to pay them money and shit. I don't really
forget
remember
where
that
that was.
situation. But do you know?
I forget where that was, but I remember hearing about it from my father because he's dedicated to Fox News these days.
Yeah, so was my dad. Don't worry.
But yeah, he watches the news and he tells me about these things, and I have never heard of such a thing in my 28 years of life, from illegal immigrants taking over an entire apartment complex. That's insane to me.
Yeah, and they were like doing a lot of damage. I think they were hurting people. Like it's crazy. And if those people did come from this whole thing where the borders open and people are just flooding.
He's very poor. That's the main argument for Trump.
Yeah, if that is the case, then that's just a great example of why this shouldn't be there. Like why the border needs to be secure.
Yeah,
Because
probably one of the
it's
reasons
not
that he
good.
won in a landslide. Pretty much one of those people. Probably that's one of the main reasons. Like people are really pissed off about that.
Yeah.
And people are pissed off about a lot of things going on in the country right now, and they're
yeah.
hoping that he can fix it. Which, although he needs help from Congress to help fix that and get the legislation going and all these laws, but well, we'll see.
Well, fellows,
What'd you say?
I'm gonna have to leave you at this
That's all
moment.
good, buddy. We'll see you later. All right.
All right.
Thank you for stopping in, man.
Be safe out there, homie.
See y'all later.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin.
He's
man.
a good man.
great.
He's a good man.
Love that man.
See, guys, a lot of you guys, you don't have real ones, and that's why you don't have you're not living your best life, because you don't have a lot of people that you can actually, have genuine conversations with, and actually, ride or dies, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's a rarity, but yeah.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
And why?
Well, she's the best candidate for that job.
Why are you good?
Well, I cannot get over Donald Trump's big lie and the insurrection.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
All right, and you?
Trump.
Okay, and why?
I just think, as far as the economy goes, it's been improving. It's it's better under him. I own a small business, and I think we thrived a little more under him.
Anything to add to that?
I mean, I also have to agree. I'm not too well versed, but definitely more conservative views in terms of same-sex marriage, abortion, and to add to that, I come from a family, small business owners.
Is Trump or Kamala? That's.
Let's before we get into this one funny thing, I'm going to shameless plug right now since they were talking about small businesses. We have a small business. All Gains is a small business. We have a website. It's in the description, allgainsstore.com. Definitely go down there, check us out.
Yeah, we got a bunch of nice merch on there, guys. Honestly, a lot of weather's gonna get cold.
If you definitely like our channel and want to support us in any way, that is probably the best way to do it. Is just definitely go down there, just check it out. If you want to buy something, definitely go buy something. It's great stuff. I'm wearing one of the hats right now. I'm wearing sweatpants that are from the store. It's great stuff. Definitely
it's comfortable too with the weather getting cold soon.
Shameless plug. I don't really care. I just want to support small businesses. I want people that enjoy businesses to support small businesses like ours. So definitely go down there after the stream. Check it out. Anyway, let's continue because this is going to be funny.
That's it? Yep, that's it. Oh, okay. So if you had to vote for one, I mean. Oh, yeah. No, we're recording. We are both voting for Kamala. Okay. And why? It's hard to vote for a criminal. Anything to add to that, or?
I'm not voting for a felon.
Trump or Kamala?
Neither. Tell you, I already voted by mail. I voted for neither. So I'm serious.
These are the statistics of the results that we got right here. As you can see.
Yeah, so there you go. 212 asked, 28, 17, 2 and 5. And 160 just no. We're just no responses. So we kind of explained it already, but that it's crazy to think that that amount of people were voting for Trump in New Jersey, especially in places where I believe that it was going to be way more blue.
Mike was telling me that we actually had a lot of red in New Jersey compared to usual.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it up on the screen. I'll take a look while I have you just talk about it. But what I had seen was New Jersey. If you looked at it demographically or electorally through into, I think you have to go to Associate Press and then go into click on New Jersey and like pretty much do a deep dive. It pretty much was just like I think Monmouth County, Ocean County, a couple counties, South Jersey, and like two or three counties in North Jersey were red, and then the rest were blue. I was actually really surprised on how even or almost even the amount of red was to blue in New Jersey, New Jersey is mostly a blue state. Like it has been for, I don't know how long, as long as I've been alive, I think it's just been mostly blue. And so it was very surprising for me to see how crazy and how close that actually was on there. But I'll see if I can find it while you talk about it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, there's someone put up a comment. Hold on, let me bring that up. Let's talk about that. Oh, we got somebody in here.
No.
Let's do it. Hold up. Let's talk about this now.
I'm finally a hater. It's about time. I've been waiting for you.
We have been waiting for you. What did you think of the video?
You hear me?
Yes, we can.
What's going on, my man?
What's up, guys? I just came in here.
Yeah, you just missed the video.
I mean, yeah, you already watched it, but
yeah. Well, you missed us reacting to the video. So tell us, man, what do you think about the election?
I'm obviously very happy. I wanted Trump to win.
Yeah, you said you were up to like 5 a.m. You got the hat and everything. That's an awesome background.
Oh, thank you. There was a feature. It's like you could add backgrounds.
Oh, that's savage.
All right. I thought this would be a cool background. But yeah, I stayed up all night. I was really excited. I already knew he won. When he got Pennsylvania, I'm like, that's it. That's it. It's a wrap.
All right, let me see if I can pull this up. All right, I think it's not the same one that I saw this morning, but I'm gonna pull it up anyway, just so we can look at it. So give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up on the screen. This. All right, let's share it. All right, let's see this. So like look at the amount of red is on the screen and the amount of blue. That's, to me, that is crazy.
Yeah, compared to usually New Jersey, I was actually very red, including the counties that were from. I guess I won't say it because someone will try to kill me. But
like, I could see, was that Monmouth County, Ocean County, red. Like the most southern counties over there are all red. Where Trenton is, that's blue, of course. A little bit under that is blue. North Jersey on the east side, closer to New York City, is blue, which is expected. Honestly,
yeah,
but it's just so crazy to me. I didn't expect that many red to come from New Jersey.
Yeah, I knew New Jersey was probably going to be blue, but
what'd you say, Tony?
I said I thought New Jersey would flip. I wasn't like confident it would, but I was hoping it would. I had like a feeling.
Yo, if
that'd be insane.
If New Jersey had flipped, because I really wasn't expecting Pennsylvania to flip because it was blue.
Yeah,
it was blue all night. I went to bed, it was blue. I woke up this morning, it was red. I was like, what?
2020 in reversal.
Yeah, it was like 2020 in reversal, literally reverse. Yeah. I just didn't believe that it could happen. And there was a lot like Michigan as well. I thought Michigan was going to be blue, and it turned red. I was like, whoa! How is this happening, bro? I didn't see this on my bingo card.
That's like what I was saying before. Americans are fed up with the crap, and they want to change right now, and they're sick of it.
That's why I wasn't worried at all. Like I feel like I was the only, out of the people I know, I was like one of the only optimistic Trump people. I'm like, Trump's gonna win. Trump's gonna win. I wasn't scared because to me it was like common sense. Like voting for Kamala, in my opinion, this is just my view. Voting for her was like voting for Biden because she was with Biden. Why would they want another 4 years like that?
Well,
like,
yeah, that's why a lot of people are like, well,
good.
what has Kamala done in the past couple of years? Like absolutely nothing. So if you vote for her, what are you going to get?
They already know what they're going to get.
She's going to let all illegal people in, and it's just some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I feel like the whole thing was, I mean, and I feel like this has been a thing for every election these last like 3 or 4 elections. Is like nothing's really going to happen. Like I feel, but this election I think is a little bit different now because of the fact that the majority of the government now, leading government is all Republican dominated. Like the Senate, like the House, Supreme Court, they're all Republican dominated, which I don't think I've seen in at least my known lifetime. That I don't think I've ever happened ever. And we had this conversation about this earlier in the stream, since you weren't here, Tony. But what do you think about that? Do you think that could be a slippery slope, or do you think that could be a good thing?
Wow, but the Republicans taking control of everything?
Yeah, so the Republicans have control of the presidency, the Senate, pretty much the House, and the Supreme Court, and the governors. They have superiority. Pretty much, they dominate each of those specific things. Do you think that that's a good thing, or do you think that is that can lead to a slippery slope, regardless of either side?
I think, in my opinion, I feel like this is actually finally a chance for a president to actually do what he wants to do without any friction, really. I'm sure maybe he'll get some pushback. Maybe some from his party, even, because some from his party may switch on some stuff. They may not like everything he wants.
Yeah, you got to take checks and balances.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like that's just going to happen regardless. I know that there are Republicans that do not want Trump, and that's perfectly okay. And I think that's perfectly fine. In my opinion, like it sounds like it's a great thing that Republicans have a dominating, like at least one party has a dominating force, that way that like they can get things done. Because I know when you have like a divided House and Senate and stuff, not many things can get done. But the problem, I think, with having it mostly just all one party, I think that can lead to a slippery slope to where the power can really get out of hand. I feel like in the wrong hands, that could be a problem. And I it's something that we need to keep it as just not just us and individuals, but like everybody should be watching closely, because if that turns that way, if that goes into a bad direction, then we as people need to stand up and say, hey, we don't like this stuff. We need to do something, regardless of if we're Republicans, Democrat, or neither. Like, we need to watch how the government actually acts, because I feel like we as a people can actually unite against that.
Yeah.
And we can, make some change, like how the French do. The French are having riots and revolutions like every 100 years.
I mean, this is Trump's chance to shine, and gonna see if he keeps the promises that he made. I'm optimistic. Hopefully good things will happen. You got to be optimistic these days. Once again, I will tell people, just try to take accountability for your own life and not rely on politicians and everything to make your life better. A lot of people just think things are going to magically happen to them, but they need to take action in their own lives. That's something that to talk about all the time.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to end this soon, because we're gonna have to go.
Yep.
But this was a great. I hope everyone who's watched this has taken something from this, has learned something, and also enjoyed all the funny things from that video that we played before. I hope people have learned things. I know, Tony, you came in a little bit last minute, but definitely if you want to hear all that, I say definitely watch the playback and gain some knowledge from the boys.
Once again, it's not about everything that it's always about constantly learning, and especially learning how the government works. I still have a lot of learning myself to do on how things go, and I do think Trump was the better option, and I'm happy that he won, and hopefully he does good things in the next 4 years.
And I hope
because the country needs healing, we need help. So
I hope he sticks to his word with RFK Jr., because that to me was my biggest thing. Is because before RFK stopped running, I was going to vote for RFK because of his policies with big pharma and big food. And so since Trump said that he was going to bring him in and he was going to let him do that, I was definitely on board with that.
Right.
But if Trump does not let him do those things, and he does not get the chance to do that, then I'm not going to be a happy guy. But we'll see what happens. We have to get there. We still have until January to get there. So anything can happen between now and then we have to see what happens past that.
We'll see what happens. Any final thoughts, Tony, on the election?
I'm just excited.
There's a lot of people feeling that way right now. There is a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of people that are hyped up right now because Trump won, and there was a lot of people that were not sure whether he was going to win or not. And I know there's a lot of people really hoping that if he wins, because they can get their life back on track, or at least we're heading in a better direction than where we were. And hopefully we can get this economy into a lot better of shape, which I hope so too. I know my parents are psyched right now. I know, but there's a lot of people are pissed. A lot of people are pissed off, but also I would say most people in Jersey, I would like to think that they're hyped right now. And even though it's not the end all be all, hopefully it's one step in the better direction, and hopefully we can improve in a lot of the areas that we're weak in right now as a country. So we're gonna have to see what happens.
100%.
But I would remind everyone to stay optimistic and always be fighting the good fight. Most importantly, fight for yourselves and fight the battle within.
Yeah, and please don't attack other people based on what they believe. I feel like having a conversation, a calm and
healthy debate.
Healthy debate is always great. Don't attack people based on what they believe and who they voted for. Just take in what they say, rebuttal in a logical way, rational way.
Don't just start crying.
Let it be that way. If you guys can't come to an agreement, just agree to disagree and move forward. That's the best thing to do, especially when it comes to friends and family members. Don't lose those people just because of those differing opinions.
Right, it's not worth it.
No, definitely not. But thank you, Tony, for coming on. Thank you. We appreciate you, even though you came on late. It was great to still see your face. We love your mustache. It's great. It's beautiful. And
thank you.
Everyone else watching, thank you for joining us and watching this whole live stream. And anyone watching After Effect, thank you for watching this After the Fact. Definitely go check us out. allgainstore.com. Definitely go check out the merch.
Guys, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And we're going to see you guys in the next video or stream. See you later, Tony.